me here. It is the end of June. It's the 28th actually, and it's hump day. It is Wednesday, so we're doing a twin flame soulmate reading. But we are not going to do the yes please today, as I've got the elemental love readings to do for the month of July. So I've got a busy day ahead of me. We will, at the end of the reading, be taking the twin flame messages from Mystic Moon. So we're using a different deck of messages today. But we will not be doing the yes please. But nevertheless, you can keep commenting beneath the video. And thank you for your support always. We will be using the Mystic Moon oracles to look at the psyche. We are going to be using today the Mystical Manga Tarot. This is the deck which I don't use very often, and I've had this deck for a while, but it's still fairly new because I don't use it often enough, as well as the Whispers of Love for a love message. It's an oracle deck, and the Amira's Love Oracle. So we'll be doing it a little bit different today. As you know, this reading usually premieres so we can talk through the chat if you're here. But thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing and commenting. Let's see what's going on in love. As I'm doing this reading, the moon has just stepped into Scorpio, and Scorpio, of course, is depth. It's transformative. There could be power struggles in love. There could be pressure to control the other person, which is not going to work, really. We can't make others do what we want them to do, but nevertheless, it's all about depth and metamorphosis, and about secrecy, emotional, physical depths and secrecy pertaining to love matters. I'm just having a nice cold coffee. It is very hot here in Greece. First of all, I'd like to take the Karma Dharma. So thank you and welcome, and it's always a pleasure to have you here. Do consider joining us on Patreon, as I have done the analysis on the new moon in Capricorn, which is just around the corner, on July 3rd. So if you're on tier 2 or tier 3, you get to view that analysis. It is quite a positive full moon in Capricorn, even though it's a Saturn-ruled full moon, and full moons are combinations and endings. There is a lot of help coming from Spirit, thankfully. So love is very important at this time, as Venus is in Leo, Mars is also there, and Venus is preparing. She's preparing to retrograde in the month of July, towards that second part of July. So what is the Karma Dharma, dear Spirit? As I've heard from many of you, that love hasn't been easy, and not only love, think of relationships in general. There will be a major shift and a transition. Some of you are asking me, when will that happen? Because it's like we're in between two worlds, the past and the new, you know, the old, the new, past situations coming back to relook at relationships. So it could be friendships, could be love relationships, family relationships, co-workers, partnerships, right, in business. That's what it's all about. And there is a major shift mid-July. So let's see what the Karma Dharma is. We've got Judgment, Scorpio, just like the Scorpio moon. This card is a very karmic card, very strong karma playing out. Okay, here is Archangel Michael saying that it's time to resurrect, to possibly start living where matters of Venus, love, self-worth, values are concerned. Remember that this is a moment of crisis. It's a point of decisions, whether to stay in an unhealthy, dead situation where you're beating a dead horse, you know what I mean? Trying to bring something to life when the life out of it has gone. This is your choice, and there will be a moment of crisis and possible resurrections depending on the choice that you make. Remember, dear friends, that the south node of the moon, which is karma, it's the collective karma, the collective fate. It's where we're coming from, Scorpio. So potentially there's a metamorphosis here, but to have the metamorphosis, Scorpio is all about poison and healing. So if there's anything, I mean, you cannot heal unless, let's say you're bitten by a snake, knock on wood, you have to get rid of the poison. You have to take it out before you can heal, right? You cannot heal when you're carrying the poison. And the poison can be also negative emotions, right? Fears, fear of intimacy, fear of being totally open with a certain person. And I said we will be doing it differently today because I feel called to do something different. I get bored. I get bored of doing the same old thing, and I'd love to hear your comments. Is it the same for you? I'm sure that many of you are interested in something a little bit different. I mean, you know, looking at things from a different viewpoint. So this deck is, as I said, the Mystical Manga Tarot. It's by well, it says Ran here, R-A-N-N. Text is by Barbara Moore. So Barbara Moore has got something to do with this deck. I've heard of the name. And this would be the High Priestess that you see. And she's holding on to the scrolls. She's got the wisdom, the internal wisdom, the psychic vision. And of course the High Priestess many times is classified as the third party, where a twin flame soulmate karmic relationship is concerned, because it could be your relationship can fall in any of these categories, right? We're not all on the same timeline, so timing could be a little bit off. You can always get a reading like this from me. Twin flame soulmate reading, I do offer those, and I've still got the special on, so for summer, right? I don't know when it's going to end. As I said, I'm thinking soon to put a stop to it. You can get the links beneath this video if you're interested. Get in quick. Of course, the longer the reading, the more details. I do offer half-hour and an hour tarot reading. So, calling on Spirit and the Divine for clarity pertaining to the person you are thinking of, right? The person you are concentrating on now. We're trying to connect to their energy. Always an exchange of energy helps me connect with you. So leaving a comment, liking, sharing, subscribing, chatting with me in the chat section, all these things play a part. And thank you so much also for your donations. I've got someone who every single week they donate. You know who you are, my darling. Thank you so much. My generous hearts. Anyway, it's not an obligation. It is something that one feels called to do. Okay, dear Spirit, thank you. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you, dear Spirit, Archangel Michael. Let's put this deck aside. I will, as I said, I'm doing it differently. Let's take a whispers of love. Let's see what the general energies are pertaining to love at this point. We've got Scorpio energies. Pluto means a death and a metamorphosis, a change, a death and then a resurrection. Obviously, here it is. It's quite obvious. And we have look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. And change is what Scorpio is all about. And patterns, Scorpio, remember, is Pluto. It's the South Node. Now, we are all part of the collective. Of course, your South and North nodes in your natal charts are possibly in different signs, but we're all part of the collective. And this is coming to an end. So the Taurus-Scorpio axis of the moon's nodes is coming to an end mid-July. So the nodes, which means karma, dharma, are shifting. They're shifting into Aries and Libra. So where do you have Aries and Libra in your own chart? Because the nodes will be affecting you there. And how are they aspected? For those of you that are a little bit more progressed in astrology, you're probably a Patreon because you're learning through Patreon with the analysis that we do. I mean, tier 3 they get to learn so much pertaining to the astrology. So if you're interested in astrology and discovering your own chart, then you should connect with us there. Tier 3 is advised. But how are your personal nodes of the moon connected to Aries and Libra? Because that will play a major role for you. Are they in good aspect or in bad aspect? Anyway, let's take a Mirror's Love Oracle and see generally what's going on. Where is this love relationship? You know, where is it on the timeline? Is there possibility for a resurrection, or is it something that you need to let go of because you've done the work? And obviously with the North Node in Taurus, we've been looking more towards being more, feeling more valued and feeling worthy of being within a connection that will, with someone that will value us and not treat us like, what can I say, rubbish, or something that is not necessary, that needs to go. Scorpio it's something that we need to get rid of, right? Scorpio does rule the sexual organs and the backside. That's the best word I can use. So it's what we need to, excrete from our lives. Let's see what's going on, dear Spirit. Ice Queen. So the Ice Queen is Libra, usually. It could be any air sign, but she's been challenged in love. So whatever sign she is, and we've all got Libra somewhere in our chart, but we know that she's a divorcee, or she's in separation, or she's just seeing things as more through a very judgmental, with a very judgmental eye. Very black and white. You could see the grey here, and the grey speaks to, obviously, worry and possibly also a lack of clarity. So the divine feminine she's looking at things very in a very black and white way. Do things add up? Does it make sense? She uses her logic, she uses her mind, and she's also very much about wanting the truth. Whether the truth is easy to handle or not, she's not going to take no shit from nobody, dear friends. She's very icy, she's very cold, and she's very much, a matter of fact. This is how things are. This is my truth. And of course she holds the sword. Now, we don't see the Queen of Swords here, but it does relate very much to the Queen of Swords. Okay, let's see. She's holding back on her desires, no doubt here. Okay, so she's either dealing with a relationship that there's been no promise. I mean, the open relationship, we see two people looking in separate ways. So we know that with Venus retrograding soon, we will have people coming back from the past or situations that we need to look at. So I'm going to say she probably has her options open as well, as does the divine masculine. And she also is cutting out any relationships where there's no commitment, because she will not accept an open relationship. This is not what she wants. Now, for some of you out there, you may be waiting on the right person, but this could also be like she's also thinking of just, being open. If someone is not willing to commit, then she's not willing to commit either. So this could be another side to the open relationship that she's looking at. Now, the money card, it does remind me very much of the Ten of Pentacles. So it does speak to family to me. Yes, money could play a big role where today's reading is concerned, but also family and marriage. And this could also be two people living under the same roof, but in open relationships, ready to go to the next stage. They're looking, as you could see, searching for someone that's going to maybe give them or offer them something long term. Now, this could also be possibly some of you going through possible divorce at this time. So not looking into something stable and long term, because you may still have dealings with the past. That's what the Ice Queen tells me here. Let's take a couple more. I want a bit more clarity here. We've got a dating queen. Interesting. So we go from grey to red, which is the energy of fire. So more from air to fire. And air is all about know-how, intellect, communication, or a lack thereof. Right? So we go from a very grey environment to an environment of fire. Now, obviously, these could be two different individuals, but for me, I see more so that this is the same person, because air and fire, they usually are on the same axis. Now, the dating queen, we see here that she's got lots of offers. She has lots of offers, and it's like she's beaming her light out and attracting even offers. So for some of you, this is you saying, I'm going to play, now I'm ready to step out and date. I'm possibly, and I'm going to say the Leo season. Now we're in the Cancer season. Leo season comes after Cancer. Cancer is more about the home and fixing things up, or anything to do with the past. Now, a lot of things pertaining to memories of the past, things you've been through, things connected to the home, to the family, also obligations pertaining to a mother. Many of you could be mothers. You still have possibly obligations pertaining to the family. But, I'm getting that these cards are more inclined towards the Cancer season, right? Finishing up. Remember, if this is like the Ten of Pentacles, obviously it turns into an Ace, right? So there's an ending and a possible new beginning before this energy can come through. So the Cancer season will lead on to the dating queen, which is more about possible offers, feeling worthy, ready to step out and start flirting, getting out there, being shown, getting up on stage. That's the Leo energy. And this may bring a possible potential new beginnings. And I say that because, as I said again, this reminds me of the Ten of Pentacles, which is like a closing up of a cycle. And remember, I did speak of a major shift where the North Node will enter Aries, and Aries is a fire sign. It is about new beginnings. It is about being courageous and taking action, not sitting back. And with the South Node in Libra, it's about letting go of imbalances, relationships, unjust relationships, unequal relationships that have not been reciprocating. It's about shedding and letting those go. This will be an 18-month cycle that many of us will be going through, that we'll all be going through nevertheless. But as I said, where is Libra for you? That's the area which you will be, that's you leaving your comfort zone there and moving towards the Aries energy, area of your chart. That is, if you know your chart, of course. So the dating queen, yes, there are many offers. You are beaming out, oozing with sensuality, with sexuality, with beauty. This is about beautifying thyself and getting ready to step out. There's great potential here. There are many options I see here. That is, if the Ice Queen decides that she wants this, of course. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, Twin Flame. What a wonderful card. What a beautiful card. What I get here now is that some of you, this could be an offer coming from a Twin Flame once the Queen of Swords, right? Once she breaks out of something long-term, something that has come to an end. This is an ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. This could also speak to, because let's say, because this is not a gender-specific reading, so those of you that are more yang energy, because even air and fire does speak to yang energy, and you could be a female and have much more masculine energy in your chart, in your frequency, right? This is more about action. This is the divine feminine becoming more, let's say, the recessive energy, the yin energy, changing and moving towards the yang energy. I hope I got that right and I haven't mixed you up. So either you're a feminine and you're turning more masculine, or if you're a masculine that's more inclined towards the yin energy, which is more recessive. That's what I get here, because the open relationship is like, I don't know what to do, right? And there's no action. It's more about being recessive and waiting. So I get that there's a shift of energy here. And this could also possibly speak to, as I said, it's not a gender-specific reading. So possibly here, someone is doing the work, I get, and ready to, and this could be also coming out of possible divorce and separation because of an offer that's coming through. So even if you are waiting on a masculine, you're waiting on a masculine that was more recessive and not taking action. Now the energies could be shifting because this is an offer that's coming through from a twin flame. That's what I wanted to get to. I hope I got through clearly. Let's see what else we've got. I want one more card. Thank you, Spirit. The twin flame is here. Twin flame relationships are never easy ones. Never, ever. Okay, and they could be very life-changing. And if you've met your twin flame, if you feel deep down in your bones, in your core, that you've met your twin flame, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be easy. There are many lessons that need to be learned. But once you come together, if you are blessed enough and able to come together, then it should be more... it's like having met your other half. So it should be easier once you come together, because We see that there's an open relationship here. Queen of Swords needed to leave a certain relationship, right? Or she's been waiting for years for her twin flame that was not ready to settle down, or they had other obligations. Whatever it is, it will be a different story for each of us, right? But we've got the twin flame here. But there's work to be done, and some of you, yes, could even be working with your twin flame. Now, work still needs to be done, surely here with a work card. And as I said, money could also play a very big part pertaining to this connection. Let's see what's at the bottom. And we've got a mature woman. We do have choices here. I mean, here we've got a blonde, red hair, light-colored eyes. Don't worry about the eyes so much. It's more about the hair coloring, let's say. So usually light-colored hair would be someone who's got light-colored skin as well. Now, we've got fair skin here, but she's more towards the darker hair. So dark brown or black hair. But we also see maturity here, which speaks to someone that is, maybe that's been waiting for quite some time, or it's just a time of maturation. So it could be the age, or it could be a humbling energy where someone needs to be grounded and mature and put in the work. The work speaks to Saturn. It's like blockages for me. It's like limiting energies. We do see a divine feminine that's very masculine inclined. You could see the short hair, the suit. She's very business orientated, right? She's ready to get down to business. Leo comes up very strongly. Leo and Aquarius, or any other air sign. Leo, Aquarius for me mainly here. We do have some earth as well. And of course, work is more about being grounded, right? Earth comes through here. Now, strong fire. Let's not just say it's Leo. It could be Aries, could be Sag, but it's mainly Leo. This could be talking about the timing, right? The time of Leo and the Venus retrograde. What's beneath a mature woman? There's the triangle. There's the choices, whether it's a feminine choosing between two masculine, or a masculine choosing between two feminine. And this will not be the case where there's a love affair. Some of you are just coming out of a past relationship. You've got many options moving forward. So let's put these cards aside. And I just want to get a little bit of clarity on what the work card means here before we take the tarot. First, I'm going to start off with the Mystic Moon Oracles. I want to see the divine masculine or the yang energy, and then I will see the... So I'm going to say it's going to be inclined towards the other person, the first spread. Your person, the person you're thinking of. Oops. We've got the butterfly, legerezza, which there's a sexual connotation or a sense of heaviness here. A metamorphosis. Again, it does bring up the judgment card, which is a 20. And a 20, it does break down to a 2. Now, this is a number 32, dear friends. I want to show you the card up close. It's a number 32, which equals a 5. 5 is the Hierophant. Okay, so it requires inner strength, and that even brings up Leo, to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Change is necessary, and Leo, the fixed signs, I should say, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus, they're the fixed signs. They're the signs that don't... like change. Change is not easy for them, but also it does speak to a cycle, which brings up the Capricorn energy, karma, revisiting a cycle again and again, hoping for a different outcome, and patterns speak to vicious cycles. Again, the devil energy. Let's see, because the Leggerezza says that there's lightness of being, a possibility of metamorphosis after a death, obviously, and it's a process. But remember also that the Leggerezza is like a butterfly that goes from one flower to another. So it does also bring up the fact that there's an open relationship that someone maybe did not want to commit. Right? So again, it reminds me, the Leggerezza, on another level of the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands brings up Sagittarius. Right, so we've got good news that's coming from afar. Right, Messaggero, the postman, brings a letter. This could be a message, an email, news coming from afar. It's possibly good news. It's like it's an 11, so 11 does speak to, because we've got a 10 and 11. I'm wondering if this is talking about the 10th and the 11th of July, because we're at the end of June doing this. Anyway, so what does 10 or 11 mean for you? And they are aces if you think about it. And we've got the 9 of Wands here, Alegria. Alegria, which speaks to celebration, getting out there, connecting with people, with friends. This is a sense of celebration, this card. Merriment and happiness it speaks to, and it's the 9 of Wands, which says you may have gone through a lot. You're close to the end of that cycle. But also the news that comes through, you'll be celebrating this with your friends. There's only one more step to go to end a difficult cycle. So you may have had the inclination or some sort of an understanding about this heaviness, this cycle ending, because even the 10 of Wands turns into the Ace, right? And then we've got the 9 of Wands. Now, there may also be physical distance between the two of you. You may be dealing with someone that's quite far. I don't know. But there's news that's coming in, which may be the inclination of some happiness or a possible ending here. You may be hearing about an ending pertaining to your twin flame as well, and that someone could possibly be single and free here and ready to celebrate that. It's interesting that we've got 3, 4, very strong yin energy that's turning more yang. So I see the divine feminine becoming much more like the warrior, warrior goddess Athena, ready to fight for this relationship, or ready to cut an unhealthy relationship out of her life to resurrect her life. Okay, that's what I get. What's at the bottom? We've got Vecchia Signora, 2 of Swords. Some sort of a dilemma pertaining to a visit or receiving advice from someone wise. This could be an elderly mother. This could be a grandmother. This could be just someone that is more, that is in a position that can share their wisdom with you. But there's a dilemma. It's the 2 of Swords. The dilemma could also be about possible, a visit, travel, or expecting someone. Maybe someone is, your person is at a dilemma about movement, about a decision. Let's take the Mystic Moon Oracle. The Mystic Moon Oracle. This could be a last moment decision for someone, saying that, no, I'm not going to fall into the same cycle again. This could be the dilemma here, because it says it requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. So we are now looking at, your person, where they are emotionally, their psyche, what they're maybe trying to push deeper into the depths of their psyche, something they don't want to look at, something that they fear. pertaining to your relationship, maybe even their own life and what they're going through now. Let's take another card. So your person, the person you are thinking of now, where are they emotionally? What's going on with them? Family, commitment, and mirroring. Well, obviously you're dealing with someone that could be in another family, union, relationship, marriage, commitment. And the mirroring card to me says that this could also be pertaining to you, because the mirroring is like your other half. It's your person. Now the swan shows elegance and tranquility. I mean, the swan just glides on the water. So it's like a metamorphosis again. As we know, the ugly duckling turns into a swan, and there's serenity and there's peace, right? But there's also, you know, the word mirroring speaks very strongly to me. I want to take one more card on that mirroring message. And there's communication. And this card to me speaks to telepathy. Telepathy. So and the telepathy is about, you know, what you think they perceive it, they receive it. It's like communicating on a much higher level. So you may have felt, you may have, you know, if you don't know, some of you may not know what's going on with the other person. You may not know, or you may know. I truly get with that mirroring card that whatever it is you are thinking, they are receiving as well. And this does tie in a lot with the money card, right? Even the word commitment for me, possibly this could be saying that they're going through a metamorphosis, but they've got commitments to children or, you know, their family, possibly. Let's see what else comes through for your person. Let's see what comes through for your person. We've got the Six of Swords, the Hanging Man. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Swords. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. And we've got the Page of Swords. So Page of Swords with the communication obviously says that they're wanting to communicate with you. I get that they may be also fearing communicating with you, but they could be checking you out over the internet, right? Now, because we've got the Seven of Swords here under the commitment and the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups is usually someone that's just very open, very loving and nurturing. Now, because I'm not reading reversals, right, Queen of Cups would be someone very emotionally manipulative. They could be connected to someone that's not on the up and up. I mean, the Queen of Cups does speak to love. If we look at the Queen of Cups as your energy, this could be speaking to a secretive connection, love triangle, because someone is already in a family and they're sacrificing their happiness. Now, they could be physically at a distance. We've got the Six of Swords, but then it's blocked by the Hanging Man. So family is blocking the tranquility or the transition of this relationship. You know, the family speaks to something long term. Now, you may feel as though, you know, this person, you and this person have lived lives together in a past incarnation. You may feel that they are your family, right? So they're very familiar to you, you know. The Hanging Man, of course, is it's the 12th house, which does speak to love affairs, but it also speaks to a karmic ending. A karmic ending because there's been solitude, or because there's a connection with another spiritual connection. You know, Pisces and the Hanging Man is it's that unconditional love. It's a lack of clarity, it's illusion, it could be deception, right? But there are blockages here because some sort of karma needs to be worked out pertaining to a family unit, or your person needed to see that this is a very important union. With the Hanging Man, they needed to change their you know, the way they're looking at this connection between you and them. Right now, there has been I mean, the Seven of Swords is sneakiness, it's the thief, it's secrets, right? Seven of Swords is someone not being on the up and up. And I'm going to say here also that possibly, because the Queen of Cups is someone that is they offer their heart. They give through sacrifice, right? They're very open usually. Here, this could say that your person was not open. Why? Because they could not, because they were in another commitment, they had other obligations. So this could be you having opened your heart and being totally truthful with them, but them hiding their true emotions. And what they truly feel is that you are the queen of their heart. I get here. Here we've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is a 10. It is an ending. It is also legalities, possible separation and divorce, possible truths coming through, because Jupiter does speak to justice, speaks to truth, speaks to wisdom. And Jupiter also speaks to optimism and expansion and growth, but after possibly an ending, because 10s turn into aces, right? And Jupiter here at the Wheel of Fortune, it's divine timing. It's the wheel of fate. So pertaining to matters of truth or legalities, there will be communication, lots of it. Now this could possibly speak to, again, I'm going to say the mirroring card speaks to them going through the same situation as what you could be going through. Remember, I said the mirroring is like the ugly duckling turning into the elegant swan. We start off, let's say, with the Six of Swords, which is very much like the mirroring. It's like leaving the conflict and transitioning, gliding towards more serenity and peace. But that won't come easily. It comes with a bang, because the Wheel of Fortune is it's Jupiter, and Jupiter can expand on the optimism, but also on any challenges that someone is facing. And I'm going to say as well, I mean, the mirroring can also be that they're dealing with someone that has been sneaky, and maybe this is a mirroring, right? And through a mirroring relationship, we receive the lessons, because the way the person opposite us is reacting is what we are. It's like the other person's actions are the outcome of what our actions are. So it's like we're seeing ourselves in the other person. Okay. Let's take your energy. Let's take your cards. And I'm going to say also, because in this card here, we see this person, the 2 swords are down and the 5 are in their arms. So it means possibly that there could be third parties here, and they could be your person could be going through some sort of a legal battle here. They may have made up their mind, because the dilemma of the 2 of Swords, remember here with the Vecchia Signora, this is the 2 of Swords, right? And beneath that is the Consolante Sorpresa, which is a sudden revelation, sudden turn of events, right? So they may be communicating the truth with you, that they're going through some sort of an ending. And maybe this is what you perceived as well. This is for those of you that don't know about this. Look at where you are. You are stuck. Stuck maybe in that cycle. So maybe you going through the same patterns, falling into the same trap, possibly. Capricorn and Saturn comes up very strongly with the stuck card. Stuck in the mud, you know. Mud is made up of earth and water. It's very recessive. It's about you not having taken action recently, not doing anything. We also see, you know, the vehicle which is stuck in the mud here. It's about being stuck in a situation and having difficulty in transitioning and moving, being mobile, or maybe even stuck in a place in I don't know where you're living. It could be your country, your state, your actual home, and being in an unhealthy situation. One more, please, Spirit. We have you're doing shadow work. You're going through a Plutonian dark period, my dear friends, right now. And after the metamorphosis, the door opens. The door opens. So this is a no card and this is a yes card. Remember the fire I was talking about here. What I get here is it's you emotionally falling back into the same cycle, or being the Hermit, or being the Queen of Swords. You need to get out and about. You need to be the dating queen, be open, which is hard work for you. That's what I'm getting. Because maybe you are sort of, you know, you've got tunnel vision and not open to any other relationships. There are many opportunities here, but what I get is that through you being open to other opportunities, that's when your twin flame is able to come in. That's what I'm getting here. Because here we've got Saturn and Pluto, very dark energies. It's like being limited, dealing with a karmic purge that you're needing to let go of. And of course, this is emotionally and also physically. Physically, you're in a situation where you've been stuck. So Pluto is a metamorphosis. It is changing the foundation of your being and your love life. So that through fire is creation, it's inspiration, it's passion, it's drive. I feel that there's been no drive at all here. No sex drive, no emotional drive, but now with Mars in Leo and Venus in Leo, she's going to revisit a situation. She's going back to revisit, and she's going to turn direct. Right? She's going to turn direct in the next 3 months. So she turns retrograde end of July. She'll be retrograde all August. September 4th, she turns direct. but give it until October, early October, where she'll be on new ground. Your revelations and the conclusion of this Venus retrograde will be after September 4th. And that's where the gifts will come in, because Jupiter will also retrograde. As soon as Venus turns direct, Jupiter is going to retrograde. And that will be about going back with Jupiter, going back and finding the treasures that you've missed. It's interesting, very interesting. Let's see what else is going on with you. Now, you may be dealing with someone toxic in your life, someone that is very Plutonian, very dark, very Saturnian, someone that's very toxic in your life that you're needing to let go of. And the decision is, yes, I'm wanting to move forward. I'm willing to do the work. You know, fire can burn, but it can also create. A bit of tinging doesn't matter as long as you don't, you know, you don't get incinerated, let's say. Be smart, be intelligent, but and know that the power is within you to create your own foundation, your own story. Let's see what's going on for you, my dear friends. We've got the Page of Coins. Some of you may be parents and you may be stuck because of your children, or there's something that you're looking at, something that you are studying, a possibility on how to get unstuck. You could be stuck because of finances. You've got the Strength card, and the Strength card speaks to confidence. Remember, Leo. And Leo, this could be you getting unstuck, because there could also be a messenger that comes in, Page of Coins. I don't know if you're dealing with an earth sign. We do have a couple of pages, and pages do speak to newness and messengers. The Eight of, the Strength card, remember, is the infinity symbol, which speaks to, you know, revisiting the same situation again and again. I'm going to say, it's not a time to get stuck. It's not a time to hold yourself back. It's a time to create. It is a time to create. You need to trust that you are your best self. You've got the power. And of course, Leo is all about truth, living in your truth, because it is the sun, it is the heart. So following your heart. And again, it does speak to, remember, the Strength card is a card of, it's a card of desire and trust. Maybe there have been trust issues, but the desire is blocked because of others and possibly obligations from the other person, and possibly also your own life. Why do we have the shadow work here? We've got the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is self-love. First of all, self-love is the most important thing. If you don't know your worth and you don't love yourself, then how can you expect the love to come from others? And we've got the Page of Cups, another page, so there's a lot of newness here. Ace of Cups and Page of Cups, there's possibilities here. I'm going to say around mid-July, when the nodes leave Taurus, Scorpio, especially the South node, because remember, there are second chances, there is divine help, and there will be a moment of crisis though, but it speaks to a resurrection, resurrecting one's love life through a death, obviously, first of all. It's really funny. You can see it right here. Can you see the light beaming on the child? And the child speaks to newness. Now, this could be, because we've got 3 pages here, this could be very much connected to a child There could be a child that could be at the blocked energies. And of course, for those of you that are parents, of course, parenthood is a very important factor. And we usually tend to put, we've got so much feminine energy here. Usually the mother will provide for her cub, for her child first, and then put herself last. But with a child here, this is also going to, what it says to me is that this is also going to manifest as a resurrection for your children. And what I'm getting from Spirit is that through your happiness, your child's or their child's resurrection will happen as well. So there will be happiness, right? Children speak to newness, a new cycle, new opportunities, but also the inner child, making the inner child happy. And when we're happy internally, it reflects upon our lives, our external lives, and our environments. Let's see, because we've got either an apology here, a possible new beginning, an apology, or just unexpected offer. Let's go out. Let's connect. Remember, the Page of Cups is something that is unexpected. So Pisces, remember, comes from unconditional love, but it can be also illusion. Maybe there's going to be a breaking of an illusion. Maybe you have needed to see the truth because you're doing the work, the shadow work, which is all about those depths and those, those psychological depths pertaining to fears. This is what you are letting go of. It's like you're going through a rebirth, obviously, here. Let's see what the answer yes speaks to. We have the Nine of Wands, which is also here as the outcome, and it speaks to celebration. Nine of Wands, and she's standing above the wands. You can see that here. So through fire we create. There is inspiration, there's passion, there's desire. And she seems to be on top of everything. It's like her experiences have made her much more powerful. And I get again that yin energy turning into yang energy more. Oh my God, we've got the Four of Wands here. The 1111 portal. Here comes the offer. Here comes the offer. As I said, through fire, fire will incinerate, it will burn, but it will also create. It's like you're going through the fire, through the flames, and you're willing to do whatever it takes. You're willing to do whatever it takes for this union. Let's see at the bottom of the deck, and we've got the Sun. So Leo season speaks very, very strongly. The inner child, happiness of the inner child. There is the Sun, and we see the union here as well. This is beautiful, and remember that the Sun comes before the Judgment card. So this is knowing that you're willing to go through the fire, you're willing to create, you're willing to take a risk. The Sun and Leo is a risk-taking. The Sun sits on the Five of Cups. This is about changing the way you have been looking at the situation, mourning the past. You may be mourning a past, but you need to let that go. It's time to shift your focus, going from the darkness to the light. There it is. Let me show you this card upright. The portal, 1111. Right? There's happiness here. There's celebration. But also, if some of you are leaving a marriage, you are on top of it. Right? You've got this. You've got this. And then there's an opening. Remember the portal, a very important portal, opens for opportunities for something long-term where there'll be happiness and celebration. Okay, what's at the bottom of the Mystic Moon Oracle? We've got a Divine Masculine, that was unawakened, that needed to surrender, maybe also dealing with a karmic ending of a cycle, needing to go through an awakening, right? Because we've got the Hanging Man here, and the surrender card is very much the Hanging Man. The Fall speaks to hibernation and quiet. It's being stuck also. It does remind me of Capricorn. I don't know if this is talking about last year. So end of last year and into the beginning of this year, where the divine masculine was going through an awakening. Possibly that is the case. I would like to take just a little bit of clarity here. I want to see what this Hanging Man is for your person. See, they had obligations. We've got the prigione, being in a prison, Nine of Swords, lots of worry about, how to get out of some sort of a contract, some sort of an obligation, maybe even not being able to physically move, because the Six of Swords is all about moving over water. Now this could also speak to a possible timing that they may be transitioning towards you after they end some obligations, possibly also needing to see things from a different perspective. Also possibly seeing the truth of what are their obligations and what they need to work through. Let's look at the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Swords mainly. What is this Seven of Swords about? Yes, there is a sexual connotation to this card, things going on behind the scenes that are unknown to you, but news will come in, will come through. The stanza is the Ace of Pentacles, which is about a commitment and about marriage. Ace of Pentacles, which is a potential here, but remember the Ace of Pentacles is also a marriage. And I'm going to go back here to the open relationship, where two people may be together for reasons other than the love that they share, right? The happiness could be pertaining to finances and stability. But this is probably a marriage, an open marriage as well, because there is love with other partners, I would say, that are kept secret. They're not totally open about it, though. It's like a theater, like they're playing a role. Playing a role means showing to the world that we're together, but I don't think that this is the case. Let's look at the Wheel of Fortune and what this Page of Swords speaks to. We've got Disgrazia and we've got the Seven of Swords here, so there is something that is difficult that is ending here. Disgrazia is the Tower. It is some sort of a major shift and an awareness about things that were hidden. Things that were hidden. Let's take one more on that. And there's the Consolante Sorpresa. So news that you're going to be finding out about. Maybe even pay attention to signs and synchronicities. Pay attention. Pay attention, because there is some sort of a succession here. Some sort of a win after a major shift and after needing to go. I'm going to say again, we've got fire. We've got fire here and here, right? We could go from, the darkest, thinking of the darkest thoughts, that there won't be recognition, that things will not change, but they will change suddenly and out of the blue. Suddenly and out of the blue. Let's look at why you are stuck. We've got jealousy, third parties, and this is your perception of being stuck. But maybe it's just timing, because you've got the Page of Pentacles, so you're studying something. Now, the Gelosia speaks to regrets, staying in a situation, an unhealthy situation, longer than necessary because of obligations. But maybe this was your perception of being stuck. Or maybe you thought that you were not good enough, that you could not handle getting out of an unhealthy situation, or you not being good enough to stand strong and be the leader. I mean, Leo is all about leadership and taking a risk. Some of you may have strong Earth, Capricorn or Virgo, I'm going to say, and maybe you feared the changes. Maybe you feared that you wouldn't be able financially to stand alone. Let's look at the shadow work and the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups. What's this about? We've got number 13 and Dottore. Dottore, which means healing after a death, after an ending. Now this is also being humbled, being grounded, because it's called arrogance. And I'm going to say also, let go of the arrogance if there is, power struggles between you and your person. Now, some of you could also be dealing with an arrogant, narcissistic past relationship where they were only accepting love from you. They were very naive, or they were giving you very little. So I'm going to say here that your metamorphosis has got to do with self-worth and self-love. What you were not given from others, you needed to give to yourself. Maybe this is something that you needed to work through. Maybe the person you were with was belittling you. Don't let them do that to you. So you're going through a process of healing. And as I said again, it's Scorpio energy. So mid-July, expect big changes mid-July. Let's look at the outcome. We've got Donna de Servizio, 3 of Pentacles. This is positive energy. There is help coming from friends. There is help coming from spirit. It's like saying the work that you've done, this is Virgo energy, the work that you've done, right? You've worked really hard at something. It's like you are being recognized for that. And you're coming out on top. Your service to others and to the world is returning back to you. So there's helpful energies, and there's this is all about purification. Remember that through fire, there is it's like purifying your life. You are purifying your life. We've got Fortuna and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, Fortuna, this is in Italian. Fortuna in Greek, because you could see the word success here. Fortuna in Greek speaks to like a hurricane, like really bad weather conditions, going through a really tough time emotionally. It is the 5 of Wands, which speaks to an internal battle, or a battle with others, or not being on the same page, or still needing to do some work to get to the 6 of Wands, which is up here. 6 of Wands is on the other person, right? So they may be also someone quite arrogant. There is a possibility of that as well, because the Prigione is Capricorn energy. This could be someone that has obligations, someone that is a leader. Capricorn is all about career, very career driven, right? Someone that's willing to do the work to succeed, whatever it takes, but also dealing with a lot of karma, right? And they've got, on their side, they've got the seven of Swords twice. So this is someone that hasn't been totally truthful with you about what's going on in their life. The general energy is Fortuna, the Wheel of Fortune, divine timing and sudden changes. And Fortuna was the sister of Zeus. So it's like, and Zeus speaks to wisdom and divine timing and optimism and justice. And I'm going to say, because Fortuna was the sister of Zeus, I mean, Zeus is very much about wisdom and truth and justice and all these things. But Zeus is also, Zeus gave the fire, the flame, to the people. It's like having gone, you know, from being up on the trees to being civilized. So it's quite a journey. It is quite a journey. And remember, the flame speaks to wisdom. It speaks to having the tools. Fire. Without fire, you cannot do anything. And fire is also about action, dear friends. So I'm going to say it's a time of action. It's not a time of waiting. It's a time of being dramatic, but getting to the end and getting to the truth. There's lots promised here. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, the safe, the denaro, an advantageous matrimony, a marriage between two soulmates or a twin flame, and someone that you've known from a past lifetime or someone you've known forever. There is nostalgia here. But this is also a marriage pertaining to finances, built on finances, but this is changing because there have been injustices, possibly as well. All right. Let's take the twin flame messages, dear friends. So, as I said, we will not be doing the yes please today. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. There is great potential here today, but remember, this reading will not resonate with all of you, and the timing could be a little bit off. Wow, okay. I can't ignore the signs I'm receiving any longer. My mind and heart always comes back to you. Something is still missing for me, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. Love to hear from you if you like this deck. If you like this deck, maybe we can take, next week, we could take your own messages. Let's take a couple more cards. Okay, Spirit gave us a few messages. So it looks like they're receiving many messages, unless this is your energy and you are receiving the messages. I'm finally feeling the consequences of my action. Their heart keeps coming back to you though, you see. But there's something missing that they're trying to figure out, and they don't know what it is. Now this could also be your thoughts. So someone is going through consequences because of their actions. And I'm going to say also, with a mirroring card, if this is how they were with you, then they've attracted a marriage partner that gave them the same thing. So it's like karma has come back around, and they've been taught a very heavy lesson because they had the Seven of Swords twice. So that's a very important message that I just got. Now there can be jealousy. There's third parties here for sure. I mean, they have the Page of Swords. They could be checking you out through the internet. And suddenly they will send you lots of messages here. There may be something that they're fishing for, looking for, because there's something that they're trying to figure out about you. I need more time to figure things out. And one more message, please, Spirit. Thank you. One more message. I'm not the same person that you remember. This card is just screaming to me. I need to take it. How could you still love me after all I've done? And at the bottom of the deck, thank you, Spirit, we have seeing you reminds me of the things I know deep down, and that's not always easy to deal with. So this has got a lot to do with their psyche. Seeing you reminds me of the things I know deep down, and that's not always easy to deal with. So maybe they're coming to the conclusion that you are their twin flame, and that for them is not easy to handle. Wow. Wow, my dear friends, what a reading. I do hope that you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your comments, of course. And I'm going to say again, I've got a special on. If you are after a reading such as this one, then let me know. Email me. And we could do this kind of spread for you. Summer is here. It's very, very hot in Greece. Very hot indeed. And I'm hoping to take a break soon. I might take, I don't know, just, a week here or a week there, but I don't know for sure. Depends on work, depends on a lot of things. Just giving you a heads up around mid-June. I'm going to say even from the 11th of June onwards till roughly the end, July. From the 11th of July onwards, because Saturn will be in opposition to Mars. Saturn from Pisces opposing Mars in Leo. That's not going to be an easy time. It will be July 17th when the nodal axis will shift and will T-square Pluto. So the pressure is on a death and a metamorphosis, right? There will be pressure about secrecy, about things that are hidden, about even where love affairs and secrets pertaining to secret love affairs are concerned, things could come out into the open. So just letting you know that from the 11th until roughly the end of July is going to be a very action-based, filled with news. It will be challenging, but it will also be very freeing. So if you're interested more about, astrologically speaking, how the month of July will affect us, I will be doing the July month ahead, probably tomorrow or the day after, the next few days. Nevertheless, join us on Tier 3, because we've got a lot to talk about where the astrology is concerned. I think that July is going to be one of the most important months in the year of 2023, and we're already mid-year. It's incredible how time flies. Anyway, I will leave you with that. I want to thank you so much for joining me here, and I'm wishing you well, everyone. Thank you so much. Look out for the elemental love readings. I'll be doing one for earth, for water, for fire, and for air, and the individual love readings for July will be on Tier 1 on Patreon. We've been doing that for the past couple of months. So for the price of purchasing one extended reading, you can get all the 12 individual signs. Make sure to always watch for love, your rising sign and your moon sign. I think that they're most important first of all. And if you don't have your own natal birth chart, you can always go to astro.com and fill in your birth details there and get a printout of your birth chart, or you can email me divinedebut11@gmail.com. It is a free service. I can run your chart for you and send it out to you. So our website is divinedebut11.net, not .com, it's .net. So if you're wanting to have a look at the readings that are on offer, the links are beneath this video as well. My dear friends, thank you for connecting with me. It's always a pleasure, and I always get to talk with the same people. I'd love to hear from more of you. I will be in the chat, you know, as this video will be premiering. And thank you so much. Wishing you well. Namaste, everyone.